I love it.
I want you to wrap a belt around my neck.
Period. Please.
Please. Please.
Please.
And it goes a little something like.
Thanks for tuning into the Spicy Booknook, where we discuss all of our favorite and not so favorite dark and dirty book series. We're your hosts, Aj
And Tay. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Today we will be reviewing Bad Guy by Kenya Goree-Bell. Please be aware that there will be spoilers and explicit content for mature audiences only.
The author's note for this book stated that this is a dark romance and is intended for 18 years and older. There are strong adult themes in this book that are not suitable for everyone. There is no rape in this book, which is the only promise made by the author. So basically, all the trigger warnings. You have been warned. And it had them all. It really did. It had everything.
What did you rate this one?
I would rate it a 5. I really liked it. I think the story was really well written. And I really liked Kiyoshi.
Yeah, I would give it on a scale of like 1 to 5 a 5, but I'm like, it was like a 10 for me. It was like a 10. I really liked his character, and I didn't know if I would because he really was so fucking mean. Like, he was mean as hell, and
He was rude as fuck.
I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like him. Like, he a little mean, and then like, I don't know. Once we got into it, I was like, sir, like, I would kneel on the floor for you as well. Like, it's fine.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, he was very, I don't know, you know me, I like dominance. So he was very, I don't know, he would have me listening, and I don't listen to nobody. So I mean, I really liked him because I didn't like how rude he was. He was an asshole, but he definitely grew on me too.
Yeah. And then I like realized like also part of his assholeness was like he didn't want a woman to make him weaker. So like it's like if I just be a fucking dickhead, then hopefully, this won't go anywhere and I can protect her and protect myself. And so, but yeah, towards once they made the deal with each other, I was like, sir, you about to fall in love with this woman.
Oh, I knew it from the beginning. I was like, the way he's like tasting his food off of the fork that he like made her
Stop
taste off
it.
of. I was like,
I'm like,
oh, you want her.
I'm like, sir, you're eating off of her fork. Stop.
And you know that's not like tradition. I don't know anything about Japanese tradition, so I don't want to disrespect it. But I feel like that's not traditional. Like
Like,
you get a new fork, okay?
you just wanted her mouth on your mouth in
You
a way
did.
that that you didn't just attack her while she was making you food.
You
Like, stop.
truly did.
I really, yeah. I was like, he, like in the beginning chapters, I'm like, damn, why are you so fucking mean?
You
I'm like,
know, and I
he's
really
really
liked
bad.
Creed too. Like I liked the way that she responded to him. I don't know,
She
she
was
just was
a breath of fresh air. Like she was like her character was very just like sweet and refreshing, but like in some of the books like we be reading, they write the woman character as like super weak and just like dumb.
yes, and
Like
she wasn't.
she was just genuinely like a sweet person,
No,
and
baby,
that's
she
what.
had a 4-star Michelin restaurant, okay?
Yeah, like she was like a sweet, like in some of the other books we read, like they write the woman as just like weak. And like she was weak for this man, true,
But not a
because
weak woman.
but not a weak woman. Yes, it was like she was weak for him, but in every other aspect of her life, like she wasn't a weak woman. She was a very accomplished woman, and I like that. And she was sweet, and even though he was a mean ass, she wasn't gonna let him change how she was, and
Yeah,
I like that.
I really did like her character. She is literally in like my top maybe 2 female characters that we've read. I
I
really
like
like the
her.
way that she was written, and then I really liked Kiyoshi. Like He
That's my man. That's my
that's bad.
man.
Okay, like when it comes to the
That's my
bedroom, like I
man.
know I got ethic as my man, but when it comes to like the bedroom man, like this is Kiyoshi. He's literally neck and neck with ethic, and then all the stuff he was doing, like feeding her cat
Oh
and
my
making sure
god.
she was okay. Like I mean, he took care of anybody who fucked with her. So at the end of the day, like he was daddy. He was giving all the big dick energy, and I loved it.
I feel that because like at the end of the day, we all know Meek is my man, my man, my man. But Kiyoshi, baby, I don't know. He really, he
He's up
really did it.
there.
He really did it for me. Like when I talk about like list of book boyfriends, he shot to the top real quick.
Immediately. Oh,
Imme-
immediately. When
Immediately.
he had that belt, I was like, oh, I
I'm
love
like,
it.
I want you to wrap a belt around my neck,
Period. Please.
please, please.
Please make me cry a little bit.
So, a short synopsis of this is we have our main character, Kiyoshi, who is a powerful man from Japan. And then we have Cree, who is a 4-star Michelin chef. Kiyoshi is in, where are they in Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is in Alabama because his family has like a computer chip plant out there. And so he's the CEO of it. So that's why he's there. He takes interest in Creed, the chef, but he's very like super guarded, super mean as hell. Like he's staring at her and everything, but like still very like short, like not giving anything away. Well, Creed's brother is a hacker and hacks into the system of Kiyoshi's, and so then it's a big ass fucking ordeal. And he and Creed pretty much make a deal that she is pretty much his to do whatever he wants with, just to save her brother so her brother doesn't have to go to jail and like throw his whole life away. So that's pretty much where we're where we're at with the little synopsis.
Yeah.
So when I first like at first when they were talking about the hackers, I was like wondering, like, damn, I wonder who. Like, I thought it was like, I was like, is it the cousin doing something? You know, like since they were very anti cousin. Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
and his cousin, quote unquote, apparently has his mother and his sister held hostage. So Kiyoshi is trying to do whatever he can to rescue his mom and his sister from his cousin. So his mom does want him to marry up someone that has more power than his cousin so that he can be more powerful, pretty
Yeah.
much. I really didn't expect it to be her brother hacking
I
the
mean,
system. I mean, like, because they said about how him and his friends were like in there on their computers and stuff, but I really, I really was like, oh, they just playing video games, you
I
know?
thought they were too. Like once the hack happened, I was like, oh, maybe it was her brother. But like I didn't really think at the beginning that he would do something like that. Like why would you jeopardize your sister's like livelihood?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because I was like, he wouldn't do that. Like, clearly, their parents have died. She's taking care of him, you know? Like, so I'm like, no, he wouldn't do that.
Mm,
And then he does. And when I tell you,
I mean, I wish my brothers would hack somebody. No, I'm just kidding.
stop.
I'm just kidding. But anyways, no, like I just the way that it went down, like I really like the books where like the girl has to, like something there's a problem and she has to kind of like give herself away to this man because like the problem needs to be fixed. Like Losers, her car broke down and they needed to fix it and she's like, "Oh, I'll fuck you guys to pay you." And then this one is like, "My brother fucked up and like keep him out of jail. Like I'm gonna it's kind of given set it off when she was like, my brother needs to go to college and I got to fuck this old man to get this money from my brother. Like, we
Yeah,
always protecting somebody. And I really like those books. And
same. I was like, oh, once they made that deal, I was like, girl,
you about to be
you,
submissive as a
yeah. I
motherfucker.
was like, you better get ready because, like,
Well, he
I,
was already given like it hang low because he was like literally just very dominant at her restaurant. Like she's, every time he goes in, like everybody is like bowing to him and being very respectful of like his culture, and like everybody respects this man. So like he was very much already giving like big dom, and for her to make this agreement, I just knew, like I knew a belt was coming out. I knew that every chance he had, he was gonna be like, I'm fucking you. And I liked it.
Pretty much. I was like, this man, he just, from the beginning, at first, when he gave her all those rules where, he's like, you have to be completely shaven, you have to come freshly perfumed, you have to do all that. I was like, sir, homegirl ain't gonna have time to do all that. And then when she came the first time and he was irritated because he's like, she's already not fucking listening to my instructions that I just gave her. I thought that was funny because as someone who's a serious man and is used to everyone just immediately doing, like what he says, that like threw him for a loop. Like, damn, my first instruction I gave you and you already are showing up not listening.
And he was not feeling it. He was like, everybody listens to me. Like, what the fuck is going on? And so, I mean, for me, I thought it was really cute because like he already knew he was gonna put her in her place, and he definitely
Mhm.
did.
He did. And then, like, okay, she comes. Obviously, he has her kneel, because he's all super, super dominant. But the scene where he shaves her, I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh. Like, I didn't expect that.
Not at all, because it was like, who shaves their partner?
It was
Like,
like
oh my
he
God.
made it such an intimate thing. Like, even though it was something that, like, most people don't shave their partner, but it was just
Yeah.
like, he's like, this is what I prefer. And remember, she was like, I don't know how. Like, Cree is like a complete virgin, guys, also. Like, complete virgin. Like,
Yeah, she did not say anything about being a virgin. And
and
he was like,
he,
oh, so you a
he,
virgin.
he didn't know. And then when he found out, he was all mad at her because he's like, why the fuck you ain't tell me I'm doing all this nasty shit to you and you ain't even gonna tell
He was
me?
like, he was like, I could have broke you. Like, what do you mean?
Like, yeah, I was like, damn girl, you probably should have said something. Especially because remember in the first scene, like she was giving him head and she really didn't know what she was doing. And remember he had like told her something like he doesn't like to have to give instruction on like what they should do. And I'm like, damn, give my girl a break. She ain't never had dick in her mouth before. Let her figure it out.
She really didn't. Like, she was very new to everything, but she caught on quick. Okay.
She did, and his aftercare was just, that's what threw me for a loop. I was like, I could see how she was going crazy for this man because he would be mean as fuck, super dominant. They have this really aggressive sex. He's a talker. I love a talker.
Mm-hmm.
And then afterwards, he's like genuinely just caring for you like a sweet person.
He was very sweet. Like, but then
and then
like he
and then it's
flipped.
and then it's back to complete nothingness and okay, like so transactional.
Very
Like,
much
sir,
so.
you can't be doing that. Like,
Like with
I
the panties, like when
yeah,
he was like very sweet to her for a second, and then he was like, she like went to like pick up her panties or something, and he just like looked at her all stupid and was like, put his hand out and was like, hand me those. And then he made her like wipe up her own nut, and I was like, oh my God.
yeah,
I was like,
with the
he's wild.
underwear, like
He's fucking wild.
crazy. And that was the thing we had, so like those scenes where I feel like it made me root for them even more because I'm like, no, like deep down in there, there's a because how he would treat her after was always really sweet. And so I'm like, no, deep down, he has a little, like a little sweet spot. We just gotta find it.
Yeah,
And,
and we definitely did.
and
I
that's
think
how I felt every time. But then he would be back to fucking just stone cold asshole. And I'm like, wait, I thought we were getting somewhere. What happened?
he was great. Like I really liked Kiyoshi. He was very just he was so dominant, like, he was very aggressive, and then he was sweet as fucking pie, and, like, who doesn't want that?
And then he made it his mission to let her know, like, I don't care about anybody. Like, when the plant got hacked and, you know, all his employees were, like, in an uproar,
Oh, they were pissed.
like, he made it a point, like, okay, I don't care about these people. Like, and she was, like, saying, you know, how everybody there, they're all, like, a tight-knit community, and they help each other, and they care for each other, because she was, of course, just sweet as can be. And then that was starting to, you know, turn for him, because also he's like, well, I'm going to have to do something. I don't want my employees to strike. And so what really, like, made me sad was the, like, you know, the Shelbys, how they own pretty much everything or whatever. It made me sad that they were literally giving their employees absolutely nothing, but, like, making the employees believe they were getting something more than they would at Creative Chaos. Like, at Creative Chaos, you know, he was giving them a good pay. You know, he wanted them to have a sustainable wage so they can live. And it's like they were trying to strike because they're like, oh, well, you don't have like 24-hour childcare. And then
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, because the Shelbys want you to literally work 24/7. That's why they give you childcare.
24-hour
Yeah,
childcare.
that, like, made me so sad, because it was like all those people, that community, just had no clue. Like, they were seeing the pay, like, you know, because what the Shelbys paid, like, $2 more, I think, or something.
Yeah.
But they literally had they worked 24/7, and it was, like, so sad that people are, like, trying to act like, oh, well, you're not paying us good enough, and they give us 24-hour childcare, and it's like, these people are literally slaving you guys away. They're treating you like slaves.
Like slaves.
And the community didn't even see it. Like, they really were in an uproar. And then when her brother got arrested and everyone just completely treated her like shit, I was so pissed. Because I'm like, what the fuck that got to do with y'all?
I didn't like the fact that they were trying to strike and just be like defiant to the fact that he was really trying to help them
He
as
was
his
trying
employee.
to
Like he wasn't just
compromise.
yeah, he wasn't just being an asshole because he was an asshole, but he wasn't just like, oh, I don't want to fucking help you guys. Like he was more so like, you will break the company if I
Yeah.
give you everything that you're asking for. But like I will give you something to make you want to stay here, but like don't be fucking greedy.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Remember, they had come to like an agreement. He was literally giving them most of almost everything they asked for, and they were still being dicks. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Not y'all getting, not this man compromising and really trying to help y'all, and then y'all are still like,
It's not enough.
not enough. What?
Like very
That,
greedy.
and that community really just pissed me off, because I'm like, okay, regardless if her brother went to jail or whatever, that's not her. That has nothing, like, she's still the chef. She still owns this restaurant. And it just clearly, obviously, she had a lot of haters, and everyone's just like, oh, she thinks she's better than us, and she thinks she's good, too good, and she got that restaurant. And it's like, that really shot me for a loop, because we didn't get that impression of her at all. Like, she really
At
just
all.
seemed like such a sweet, innocent person, that I'm like, not y'all hating on this girl, and she really is just not doing anything to anybody, and everyone is like rooting for her to fail.
No, and that's the thing, like, she was a very kind person, like, she served family, like, someone who cares about their employees, and, like, everybody just fucking hated on her. Like, she was just a good ass woman, and they wanted to see her downfall, unfortunately.
They did, and I was not fucking with that. And Kiyoshi wasn't either.
She was like, "Imma put a stop to
He's like
everybody."
all them little snide ass comments. Because remember when people were trying to be all in his face, like, oh yeah, we stopped going there because of what her brother did to your company. And he's like, I didn't ask y'all to do that. He's like, I literally still eat there.
Like,
Like,
that's still my
what?
favorite place to go.
Yeah. So that was like, to me, those scenes were so embarrassing for them, because I'm like, not y'all trying to literally suck up to this man, and he still eats there. And not only eats there, he eats her. So I'm
No.
like, y'all are really like,
I like the fact that he didn't like American food, but like he fucked with her American food, you know?
Yeah.
I really like that. But
Like,
like, I mean, he was you're right. He was eating her up, every
he
piece of
was
her.
eating her up. Like, it was like every chance he got, he couldn't. He couldn't
This book had
resist.
some really good sex scenes. I couldn't say I have a favorite, but I will say that every single one of them was sexy as fuck.
Like, all of them were just, he did it for me.
Chef's kiss,
Chef's
honestly.
kiss, literally.
Literally.
And he is just such a talker. And I love a talker. I love a talker. I'm like,
He was very bold. Like he didn't give a
very,
fuck about
yeah.
nothing.
Like, and once they started sleeping together, like, I already know she had that man on lock. Like, he was trying to pretend like, oh, because even remember he was supposed to marry that one princess girl, and he was trying to make it seem like, oh yeah, like if I want to marry her and still fuck you, like that's what I'm gonna do, on like some super cocky type shit.
He was
And
being a dick.
yeah, and I'm like, sir. And then remember, once they started fucking together, he completely cut off his other little sub, like completely. Didn't even sleep with her again. Remember, she came over, and then he just
He was
couldn't.
like, "Thank you for not." He was like, "Stop
Yeah,
doing it." And then he was like, "Thank you for not having sex with me. I don't want this no more."
yeah. Like, I
I
just, I was,
he wanted her from the jump, and I think he knew it, and he was just like afraid to like relinquish like his power a little bit because she was like a strong and educated woman, and she wasn't just going to be like following his directions because like you said, like when she showed up, she definitely wasn't following directions, and I think he was like nervous because he never had that, so he was just like,
yeah. And then she also was like a brat, and I feel like he liked that. Like, in a sense, he's like, I want you to listen to me, but in a sense, he's like, no, I don't want you to listen to me, because then when you don't listen to me, then I get to do whatever the fuck I want to you because you're not listening.
and he would be like, she doesn't deserve that yet.
Yeah,
Like,
like, I just don't. And then the one quote that he kept saying to her, like, made me so sad. The one where he's like, to mistake my care of you for caring for you will be like a foolish mistake or whatever. I'm
yes,
like, like when he told her that, that broke my heart, because obviously his aftercare, he was very caring, but then would go back to like, oh, nothing. Like,
very much gut wrenching because it was like,
yes. And
dang, bro,
so
like
it was like, it was pulling on her heartstrings, because she's like, okay, like it feels like he cares for me, like he's doing this and it's feeling like he's caring. I'm like, sir, you cuddling and all type of shit. You can't say that you don't care for this woman. She's staying the night. Since when was that a thing? Like, even he was saying like, oh, none of the others like ever stayed the night. Like, yeah, you got this woman staying the night. You got her a whole closet full of clothes, like all her favorite stuff.
he
Sir,
was ethicing, like he was acting like
sir.
ethic, and he was doing all the ethic stuff, but he was not doing the
But
love part.
then,
Like he
yes,
was
but
like,
then he would do all of this stuff and then be just cold. Like, we're
he'd be
nothing.
like, I don't really like you. I just
Like,
do it because I want to.
yeah. So then that I understand, because if I'm her, I'm gonna be going fucking crazy, because what? One, not you fucking me like this to begin with. Like, that's crazy. You really fucking me down, and then you're doing sweet stuff. You done got me a whole closet in your house. I'm staying the night here. You're really sweet after, and then you mean to tell me we're nothing?
Yeah,
So it's
like,
like, that threw me for a loop.
yeah, it definitely threw me for a loop too because I'm like, how do you not expect to fall for someone who is literally giving you all of the aftercare that you've ever expected?
Like,
Like,
girl,
literally
after,
making sure that you have like a comfortable period and making sure that you're like enjoying yourself like every moment of the day except for like after sex and he wants to be an asshole. And it's like, what? Like, you're
confusion.
confusing me.
My brain was literally like going through it, because I'm like, sir, you like this woman. I don't know why you trying to act like you don't. Even his brother knew, like, this chef is gonna be trouble. And
Oh, he knew from the jump.
yeah, and he was trying to play it off like, no, like, but it's like your brother even knew this girl was gonna be trouble because you love her. You're trying to act like you don't love her, and you do. You love her.
Yeah.
Like you completely love this woman down, and you're trying to pretend. Like,
Yeah, like faking it until you guys make it, because at this point, like, bro, like you are deeply in love with this woman. Like when he was willing to kill his sister because of her. And I was just like, oh, he really loves her. Like,
so when we get to
his,
what really hurt my heart was when she discovered his little secret room that had all the pictures of everyone he wanted to kill. And then
yeah, and she was on
and
it.
how her picture was on the table, and she was like, is he putting my picture up or did he take my picture down? And I'm like, that was so, like, like, if you walked in on that, like, what would you think? Like, what the fuck? Why is my,
I'm getting the fuck out of
like,
here,
yeah,
one,
like,
because I don't
and
know
then
your.
he, remember, like, got so mad at her and was like, thought she was spying on him, and then really
Mhm.
started treating her like shit. Like, remember, they were on a first name basis. He only wanted her to call him by his first name, and then after that he was like, nope, don't call me by my first name. Like, we are nothing. And it was just so transactional. No loving, no caring. Like, he was just so cold to her. And I'm like, sir, look, I know you don't trust nobody, but you ain't even let her explain. Like, let her explain. And she's trying, but then eventually she just gave up because she knows, like, there ain't no fucking point. Like, he's not gonna listen to shit I'm about to say. So
Right.
might as well just go on about
Shut.
my day. And then when his mom gets quote unquote sick and they take the trip out there, and the mom is so mad, like, not you bringing this little American bitch out here. Who is this supposed
Right.
to be?
His mama was a fucking hater, one.
And then you
And
gonna try
then
to kill her?
and then you tried to kill my girl. Like, like the whole thing was fucked up, because how would you, like, why would you try to kill your son's, like, girl? Like, he brought her out there to meet your ass, and you try to murder her, and did it in the craziest way. Like, for the cat to have to go, like, that pissed me off.
I was so like, not the cat dying because he drank the poison.
Yeah, like, what if she didn't, like, get her cup knocked over? Like, she would have been dead and nobody would have known.
And then we got that damn plot twist that the mom is the fucking evil one, and it wasn't even the cousin. I was
Yeah, because
like,
at first I was like, it's the cousin.
yeah.
He's an asshole. I don't fuck with the cousin. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh,
Oh,
so
it's
it's the
not. It's the
moms.
mom. The mom is terrible, horrible bitch.
It's it's always the fucking
It's
moms.
always the moms.
It's always the fucking moms. Like,
And then the scene where they like burn her restaurant down, I was so,
that pissed me
I
off
was,
too. But hey, everybody got their payback.
they did. Kiyoshi said, girl,
Not on my
not on my
watch.
watch. He said, tell me who I get to destroy. And
Oh,
baby,
and he did.
he
Like, he
killed
was not even all talk.
all of them. And I was very happy. I was
Yeah.
sad when he asked her to say the safe word and she said it, and then I was like, no, wait.
Yeah, that part was actually
No.
really sad
It
when
was.
she said it, and like he felt it, because I think he was telling his brother, he was like, she said the safe word on me out of the bedroom,
Mm-hmm.
and like he was hurt. Like, I wasn't listening, but you can hear it. Like, you can like
Yeah.
feel the pain that he was feeling.
And that made me so sad. I'm like, why would you say that? He's
I was
just
like,
trying
why would you
to help.
ask her to say
I'm
that?
like,
Like,
this is the one time he's not trying to be an asshole. Like,
the one time
the
he
one
wasn't trying to
time.
be
And then,
like.
yeah, he killed all them motherfuckers. And she knew. She immediately knew, like, hey, my killer ass boyfriend, he done went and murdered everybody because they done hurt my feelings.
Like, I love a good murdering boyfriend.
I love it. I love that type of trope. Like the where you gonna kill anybody for me for just anything. Love that.
Like, you love me where you'll risk your freedom for me.
Love that.
It's so toxic, but I absolutely love it.
And then who gave this sexy ass man a katana? Like, that just added to
Uh,
the, because that scene that he cut her clothes off with the katana, sir.
That was one of my favorites. Yes.
Weak in the knees. What are we doing here? Be for real. I was like, why are we giving this man more stuff? Stop giving this man stuff.
Well, no, they were making him as great as they possibly could, and I'm not mad. Like, Miss Kenya, you did that here, okay?
Yes. And then when we get to the end and he finally is like admitting that he has feelings for her, I'm like,
Which I feel like it was really hard for him, like, as a very powerful man, like, to be like, "I like you." It probably was, like, almost like he was gonna gag saying it, and I feel like he did it very well, like, he made her feel secure after he said it. Because
yes,
if
like,
he would've said that earlier, I'd been like, "No, you don't.
and he was
Not the way
really
you treat
like,
me."
he was pretty deep about it. For someone so cold, like, he was telling her how he couldn't like sleep without her and how like he possibly would, like want kids with her and how she's his home. And he was also explaining, like, obviously he comes from a very cold mom and he doesn't really know what love is, but like he thinks he loves her. And I was just like, I was like, yes, I love this for her. I love this for
Yes.
her.
Pulling all my heartstrings for sure.
All my heartstrings. So at the end of this book, I really was like, damn, now I got to read the second one.
Yeah. I definitely would read the second one. This was a good little series here.
This was a really good one. So if anyone is looking for something that has like sexy male character, he's a dom, so we love that. Pretty much Kiyoshi was just, like, Kree is a great character. The female character is great, but Kiyoshi really made the book what it was.
He held it down
He held it
from
down.
beginning to end.
Yes. So if you are looking for a dark romance, I 100,000,000% recommend this one.
Highly recommend.
So thank you guys for listening, and I hope we see you whenever we have a new episode coming out.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
And it goes